Some Nigerians living in the United Kingdom has petitioned the British Prime Minister seeking support for President Muhammadu Buhari. The group says it's convinced that President Buhari deserves a second term. I have joining me to discuss this the Deputy Chairman of the APC in the UK, Tunde Doherty. Thank you for joining us on the news.
Thank you for having me.
Help us understand the context of this petition, especially at the time where opinions are divided as regards the involvement of international community in Nigeria's election.
Whether we like it or not, we have to really, because we love our countries, that's where we come from, and we've seen a lot of changes within the last 3.5 years, and it is so insane for people to, at this period, begin to praise a negative impact or negative index about our president. Because for the first time in Nigeria, we see what governance is all about, continuity. We've seen projects that has been abandoned since the start of 1999. And we've seen how the president has done all of these things in terms of infrastructure, revamping the rail system, increasing the megawatt.
We're going to get there. I actually want to understand precisely the role of the UK Prime Minister. You asking her to support President Buhari in this election. How feasible is that? Given the neutral role that she's supposed to play?
Definitely, she's supposed to play a neutral role, but be it as it may, she has a responsibility to guide the EU and the British citizens about Nigeria. Looking at what the people have been saying, we saw protests here and there, we saw letters, we saw what threats and what have you through the EU, the election monitor that are coming to monitor our elections. Most of them are from the UK, most are from the EU, some are from the United States of America. These people have a kind of coming to do a kind of investigative monitoring report back to the international community whether the election is fair or is unfair. These people, they are eyes of the world in terms of reportage of whatever will have transpired during the election. And for so doing, some people are trying to instigate fear onto these people, which is very, very wrong. We know that our president is a peaceful man. Our president is somebody that believes in the rule of law, the constitution, and believe in good governance.
But the government seems to have also taken the position in reaction to the position of the EU and the UK, the US, even to an extent saying that they will seize the visas of people who caused troubles during this election.
I'm not sure.
What are your thoughts about that?
I'm not sure the government will have taken that position. It will be maybe somebody just expressing his own view. Nigerians are peace-loving people. We cannot just say we will seize visa of people and all of this. For God's sake, Nigerians' greatest strength is our relationship with the international community. Right. Nigeria cannot be what it is without the international community. And it would be very insane for anyone to believe the saying that they will seize their passport or whatever. Before the election, these people will apply for their passport maybe a year, 2 years before.
I'm not sure you got that question right. What I'm saying is that what the UK and the US are saying, they are threatening to seize visas of politicians in Nigeria who caused trouble in this election, even to the extent of seizing visas that belong to their family members as well. And I'm asking what your thoughts are as regards to that position.
Yes, I support that in totality, because if you ferment trouble in your polity, definitely you are not worth a while to even travel out of your state to another state, because we know that we condone quite a lot of indiscipline within our society, but the international community don't tolerate indecent behavior or abusive behavior, aggressive behavior. So to be forewarned, So it's the right time for US, UK to take that appropriate step to cease to issue visa for any politicians whichever party from coming into their country.
Let me probe you further as regards this petition that you have sent to the UK Prime Minister. How well equipped is the UK, Nigerians in diaspora to better assess the performance of this administration? Because what some people will say is, you are not on ground. You live in the UK. How do you know how Nigerians really, have fared in the past 3.5 years?
You see, It is, I would say, probably it's an anathema for anybody to believe that we in the UK or Nigerian diaspora doesn't really know what happens on ground in Nigeria. Virtually almost every month, quite a lot of us come to Nigeria to interact, to do business, to do other things. And by so doing, we get information because we have people who are close to the seats of power. We have people who are on ground. We have people in our various constituencies. Somebody like me, I have a constituency in the village, and I get feelers of what is happening in my particular environment every time. That's so right. If people are saying that because we are not on ground, we don't know what is happening, it's wrong. These days we are in an environment, we are in a gig environment, we are in high-tech.
It's a global village. So I'm afraid that's how much time can permit us. Deputy Chairman of the APC in UK, Tunde Doherty, thank you for joining us on the news.
My pleasure.
I hope you have your PVC, because the
PVC, you want me
petition to the UK
PVC?
Prime Minister will not hold water.